Verse 222. The enlightenment attained by the Pratyekabuddhas, Buddhahood, Arhatship, and the saying of the Buddhas, these are the secret seeds that grow in enlightenment, but it is accomplished in a dream. So it seems to me here that the Pratyekabuddha is being properly reinstated. Pratyekabuddha is somebody who gets enlightened under their own steam. They haven't followed any particular teachings. They've reached enlightenment and they don't teach. They don't teach. They just get on with life. They've found the secret. They realise there's no point in trying to communicate it because it's so subtle and so profound. So they just get on with what they get on with. So the enlightenment attained by the Pratyekabuddhas, Buddhahood, Arhatship. Well, Buddhahood is being a Buddha, and Arhat is being an Arhat. An Arhat in early Buddhism was the goal. To become an Arhat was to become an enlightened one. Although it subsequently became a rather limited notion and was replaced by the notion of the Bodhisattva. But it seems here that, like the Pratyekabuddha, the Arhat is being properly reinstated. And the fourth factor here is the seeing of the Buddhas. This can be taken in two ways. Actually seeing Buddhas, or the seeing of the Buddhas, seeing how the Buddhas see. And I'm going to go for that second explanation because it fits. So the enlightenment attained by the Pratyekabuddhas, Buddhahood, Arhatship, this is seeing how the Buddha sees. And the important point here is that these are secret seeds that grow in enlightenment. They're secret because they cannot be communicated. Something's been realised. And as I've often said, enlightenment is not the goal. Enlightenment is the beginning of spiritual practice. And this is clearly conveyed here, of growing in enlightenment. So it doesn't matter where that initial enlightenment event happened or how it happened. This is the beginning of our spiritual work. It's the beginning of enlightenment practice. Now, this last phrase is a bit of a blinder. It tells us, but it is accomplished in a dream. Well, what does this mean? Does this mean that our spiritual work is accomplished while we're asleep dreaming? There are certain traditions which go along with this. There's a modern one called Ekankar, which takes you into some dream state where you meet a teacher and you get teachings which take you to a different level. There's also the Tibetan yoga of dream and sleep. I think one of the most comprehensive texts on this is the one by Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche. It's something that I've looked into in the past. It's quite a fascinating avenue of research. But like all kinds of yoga, you start getting caught up in the mechanics of it, and there's always new goals to achieve, and it takes you away from the main point. Yoga, like meditation, can take you away from the main point, which is insight into the nature of your own awareness. And this insight This insight, as I regularly come back to, can be developed, at least on an intellectual level, by considering the phenomenon of dream. Because in dream we have a clear indication of how consciousness works. In dream, consciousness creates the illusion of an external world which engages our attention. It engages our attention as one who is in that world. This is what consciousness does. It creates the illusion of an external world. It creates space. It creates a world, and it creates an individual to wander around within that world and to interact within that world. This is a triple world. So this is what I would say this phrase means. It means realizing that all of this is the nature of dream. We wake up from it. We wake up from it. This is how it's accomplished. It's accomplished by the realization of the nature of dream. Of realizing that the so-called waking state is no different from that. So we come back to something real. We awaken to something real in ourselves, not out there, not in this fabricated world that is created, but we awaken once again to the reality of our own being.